Thank you to everyone who has taken time from their busy schedules to be here today. I'd really like to take a moment just to acknowledge some special guests who are here with us today. Auburn Hills Mayor Kevin McDaniel, Rochester Hills Mayor Brian Barnett, Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett, our board chair, Oakland University board chair David Tull, Oakland Community College Chancellor Peter Provenzano, and we have quite a few other special guests who are here from outside our campus, from our community, who have chosen to be with us here today. Let's give all of them a round of applause. And now I'd like to ask the members of my cabinet to please stand. I want to thank all of you for your dedication to Oakland University and for your many contributions for making Oakland University great. Thank you. Now, to continue to make it great, I'd also like to hear from you. So please write down any questions that you might have on the index cards that are located on your tables, and at the end, we'll take a few minutes to try to answer some of your questions. We are OU. The state of the university is an opportunity for us to get together, to recommit to our mission and vision, to share in our accomplishments, to acknowledge special contributions, and to illuminate the path ahead. We are OU, and most of all, I hope that today's State of the University instills the message of how we have a profound responsibility and a great opportunity to make a difference and reimagine the possibilities of Oakland University. Why are we here? We are here for the students. We are here for research and for scholarship. We are here for our communities. And we are here to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion, and to be a community that welcomes all.
For many years, Oakland University has been a place my family has called home. Not being here, you could say, is like being a fish out of water. My brother Philip and I are members of the OU swim team, as were my uncle, aunt, and mother, all of whom were all-Americans. Attending OU, for me, is a part of a great family tradition. My name is Micah DeYoung, and I am OU.
I believe in dreams and dreams coming true. As I continue my journey to become a physical therapist, I know that it is because of everyone before me that sacrificed everything they had for me to be here. I know it is because of their courage and their strength that I can stand here in front of you right now. It is my hope that one day we'll live in a world where students don't have to think about obstacles of race, religion, sexual orientation, gender. They can just follow their dreams. My name is Desiree Robinson, and I am OU.
My passion is mentoring. I know and have benefited from the power of mentorship myself. At OU, I have witnessed students making meaningful connections with faculty and staff, which lead to experiences that contribute to personal growth and professional success. My name is Amy Baines-Berselli, Associate Dean for the College of Arts and Sciences, and I am OU.
Thank you to all of you. I began my tenure in 2017. During my first year, I got to know many of you. I set out to listen, observe, and learn what makes Oakland such a special and vital place. Those conversations continue to be a source of insight and reflection. In the past 2 years, we've made significant progress in addressing ways we can improve our performance and achieve our goals and be more effective in helping us to get even better. Let's take a look at how we're doing. OU's fall enrollment must be considered within the context of generally declining enrollment at Michigan public and private universities. In part, the reason for this is the number of Michigan high school graduates will be continuing to decline at least until 2030. But when comparing OU's enrollment with the other state public universities, our enrollment since 2009 has increased along with only 5 other public universities, and we're 4th in this ranking. Fall enrollment stands at a total head count of 19,013, and you'll see the breakdown here on this slide. New FTIAC, or first time in any college applications and admissions, are at all-time highs. New enrollments are down slightly from last year, but rank as the 2nd highest ever. A major reason that we're succeeding at attracting and retaining students is the significant progress of the Strategic Enrollment Plan, which is creating timely, flexible, and aggressive approaches to the ongoing challenge of attracting and retaining students. In the summer of 2018, we had a presidential retreat to launch the SEM plan. And the result of the work of hundreds of people is that Oakland University is way ahead of our peer institutions. If you are a member of these SEM teams, please stand now and be acknowledged for your great work. Stand up. If there's any doubt about what teamwork at OU looks like, that was it. So that was really exceptional. Another key part of SEM is OU's 28 articulation agreements with community colleges, which creates a pipeline of transfer students. And as you can see, we have transfer agreements with community colleges around the state. Recently, we've been advancing program-specific agreements with a number of these community colleges. The intensive effort is a key part of the reason why new transfer enrollment is up 10.1%, and the new transfer retention rate is 65.4%. Other new transfer highlights include we have the 2nd largest transfer class in the state of Michigan, over 300 more than Michigan State, and we're on a par with the most academically talented transfer class in OU history. Student success. Let's now take a look at one of the fundamental measures of student success, and that's our graduation rates. The 4-year graduation rate stands at 31%, nearly double the rate since 2013. We set a 6-year FTIAC undergraduate graduation rate of 55% as our goal by 2025. But in 2018, we reached that goal and have set the new mark at 57%. And then we reached that goal this year. The FTIAC URM undergraduate 6-year graduation rate is at 39%, and we've set a goal of 45% by 2025. We aim to make further progress in the area of FTIAC retention. Currently, retention of 1st to 2nd year students is at 76%, and we're increasing that target to 83% by 2025. Meanwhile, the percent of FTIAC URM retention is 63.5%, and our aim is to be at least at 75% by 2025. Currently, we have an achievement gap between all FTIACs and URM FTIACs of 9.5%, and our goal is to reduce that to less than 8%. While the first of our strategic goals is to support student success, we must be mindful that the cost of higher education continues to increase, which makes a college education difficult to afford. Compared to other states, Michigan devotes a smaller share of our budget to higher education. In fiscal year 2018, Michigan higher education expenditures comprised only 4.1% of the state budget, and this compares to the 50-state average of 10.1%. The amount of tuition Michigan's public universities collect per student is the highest in the nation, making it the most tuition-dependent state. And since 2000, tuition costs have been increasing as state appropriations per student have been decreasing. And at Oakland, the percentage of our revenue is more and more dependent on tuition. In fiscal year 2019-20, we expect that about 80% of our revenue will come from tuition. Oakland University currently receives the lowest state funding per student among Michigan's 15 public universities. This map illustrates the average level of undergraduate student loan debt across the entire country. And you can see that Michigan students carry among the highest levels, between $30,000 and $35,000 in debt. In fact, we're among a small group of states that trail behind only Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and New Hampshire, which have on average more than $40,000 in debt. Offering accessible and affordable education is among our highest priorities. As the previous map indicated, those with bachelor's degrees graduate from universities in Michigan with more than $30,000 in debt. In comparison, the average federal loan debt for OU students is around $25,000. By the way, the estimated average price for a light vehicle is $37,000, and a car lasts about 8 years and 150,000 miles. So in comparison, a college education lasts for your entire life and provides limitless opportunities. An often cited study from Georgetown University found that on average, college graduates earn $1 million more in earnings over the course of their lifetime compared to those with no college degrees. And a Pew Research study found that the median yearly income gap between high school and college graduates is around $17,500. According to the National Association of Colleges and Employers 2019 salary survey, earning a master's degree makes a substantial difference too, as much as tens of thousands of dollars per year. For example, the survey found that there's about a $30,000 starting salary difference between someone who has a bachelor's degree in business administration and someone with an MBA. So, clearly, investing in higher education is the best return on investment anyone can make in themselves or that someone can make in their children. Last spring, Oakland University initiated a new debt forgiveness program designed to help students return to and stay in school and complete their degrees. The Golden Grizzlies graduate program includes 3 new microgrants designed to alleviate the stress of financial obligations. To date, we have helped a total of 52 students return to school or kept them from stopping out, and we expect that number to increase much higher. Another key development to further enhancing student success and addressing faculty needs is the progress that we're making with our second strategic goal, research. Last December, OU moved up to the R2 designation, the second highest tier in the Carnegie classification of higher education. This tier features colleges and universities with high research activity, a designation that is only held by 3.1% of universities nationwide. A move up in the Carnegie classification enhances our ability to attract external grants and appeal to industry partners. In July, the annual President's Retreat focused on research. We convened with OU leadership, deans, and faculty to help frame the discussion. Highlights of our retreat included a focus on increasing the number of researchers and grants, increasing undergraduate and graduate student research engagement, improving research policies and practice related to facilities, and managing faculty workload to increase research activity. By accomplishing our research goals, we believe that we will expand our regional economic impact. And most importantly, we believe that this will lead to our ability to improve quality of life. This slide gives you an idea of where Oakland University ranks compared to other federally funded peer research institutions. While OU has similar numbers of total faculty compared to our peers, the number of our principal investigators is lower, and so this is an area where we must look to improve. Our third strategic goal is community engagement, and this is both an obligation and an ongoing challenge, and it requires us to mobilize and to utilize our resources to make a positive and impactful difference in our communities. This marks the 5th anniversary of the Oakland University Pontiac Initiative, and we have built many valuable relationships throughout the Pontiac community, including connections with 75 local organizations. Our connections include providing Pontiac residents at risk for chronic disease with vouchers for healthy foods, a tutoring program with Pontiac Middle School, support for a patient care technician training program at Pontiac High School, working with the Pontiac Arts Commission on Soul Food, a wonderful cultural and spiritual celebration featuring inspirational music, much like you heard from our own chorale. And this year, OUWB partnered with the Pontiac Missionary Baptist Church to address how medical students can play a role in alleviating poverty and providing health care. Last November, we received a generous donation that led to the renaming of the Oakland University Center for Autism Research, OU Cares, to the Joanne and Ted Lindsay Foundation Autism outreach services at Oakland University. As a university, we are making major strides in promoting a broader, multicultural understanding in one of the most culturally diverse areas of the country. Based on a generous gift by education advocate Sis Maisel, we established the Sis Maisel Center for Judaic Studies and Community Engagement. Fostering a nonpartisan, open dialogue about timely, current issues is the mission of OU's Center for Civic Engagement. Recent forums have included discussions about race, taxes, American foreign policy, and most recently, women in elective office. And on November 15th, the Varner Vitality Series, in conjunction with the Center for Civic Engagement, will host a lecture by Nobel Peace Prize winner Lech Walesa. It's this type of high-profile, topical, public fora that are elevating OU's reputation. Currently, less than 10% of our courses include some aspect of community engagement. But I want every student, every faculty member, and every staff member to find ways to engage and make a difference in our communities. Much like our community engagement work, we are also committed to backing up our talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion with specific actions. Shortly after becoming president, I worked closely with the OU leadership team to identify initiatives that would transform Oakland into a more diverse and inclusive community. Our goal is to continue to broaden the diversity of our student population, our faculty and staff. But I believe that our work is far from done. Our aim is to increase the representation of women and minorities, to increase URM faculty from 9 to 10% by 2025, to increase URM staff from 15.6 to 20% by 2025, to close the achievement gap between majority and minority students, to enhance and expand communication of university diversity policies, to increase representation of international students, faculty, and staff on our campus. Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, a report that was published in April, reflects measurable ways that Oakland University is upholding this strategic initiative. The report shows overall underrepresented minority employee headcount has increased to 21.5%. Underrepresented students represent nearly 20% of our student population. The Otis Scholarship Program continues to improve the URM 6-year graduation rate. And at 52.7%, women make up the majority of our faculty. In addition, seeking greater diversity remains a central principle in faculty search committees and in developing diversity fellow positions. In September, we began unconscious bias training to raise awareness of preconceptions and encourage a broader dialogue about diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is a follow-up to the diversity pledge that hundreds of us took last year. At Oakland University, we are committed to upholding Title IX, and we strive to maintain an academic, living, and work environment that is free of harassment and discrimination. And I am so proud to announce that on Sunday, October 27th, Oakland University will receive the 2019 American Association of State Colleges and Universities Excellence and Innovation Award for Leadership Development and Diversity in Phoenix, and I look forward to representing us there. Our Leadership Academy program was selected for its outstanding results and potential to influence and serve as a model for other institutions.
My job is to support the university mission and goal of graduating a diverse student body. This requires advocating for change and promoting diversity throughout the OU community. I believe we must continue to strive to be a model of a diverse and inclusive campus. I am Omar Brownell, Senior Director for the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, the Gender and Sexuality Center, and Veteran Support Services, and I am OU.
After attending OU's transfer student open house, I knew that OU was the right place for me. I have discovered an inclusive community, helpful faculty who knew my name, and also many, many opportunities to make relationships. My name is Johnny Pham, and I am OU.
I'm a lifelong learner, an educator in K-12 education. For the last 15 years, I've been teaching humanities and history in local independent schools. For the last 4 years, I've been at OU pursuing my PhD, served as a research assistant in the Department of Organizational Leadership, and earned my doctorate in June. Thanks. Whew. As a woman in the field of education, I'm focused more than ever on how to bring more diverse voices to the educational leadership table. My name is Corinne Vizaki, and I am OU.
My mission is to serve. My medium in which to serve is dance. I am a dance major and a programming assistant in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. My ambition is to be an advocate who brings people together. My name is Ernesto Duran Gutierrez, and I am OU.
Our 4 strategic goals are the pillars that support Oakland University and the foundation on which we are constructed. And in many ways, this is what makes us the university of choice. Renovations, infrastructure improvements, and new construction are many of the tangible signs of how Oakland University is developing our campus to best meet the needs of students, faculty, and staff. Plans are being finalized for the renovation of South Foundation Hall. In December, the state approved $30 million in public funding for construction and expansion. Wilson Hall will undergo a renovation and expansion to streamline and consolidate student services. The OU Board of Trustees approved $90 million in bonds to finance improvements and renovations to Varner Hall, the Student Athlete Development Center, Dodge Hall, and the Math and Science Center. And it's hard to believe, but it's only a year ago that we held the grand reopening of this Oakland Center. Today, the OC is a bustling center of our vibrant campus and a popular gathering place for OU and our regional community. In the past year, the Oakland Center has attracted more than 1.5 million visitors. Since 2012, Oakland has seen significant growth, including Hillcrest Hall, the Engineering Center, Elliott Tower, Oakview Hall, and the Human Health Building. In August, Hillcrest Hall earned LEED Gold certification from the U.S. Green Building Council. And Hillcrest is the 4th building on our campus to earn LEED Gold certification or better. The others are the Engineering Center, Oakview Hall, and the Human Health Building, which is LEED Platinum, and the first building in in Michigan history at a university to attain this ranking. Of course, one of our highest priorities is to maintain a safe and welcoming campus, and OU remains among the safest campuses in the entire country, ranked in the top 10 in several national surveys. And I want to thank each and every one of you for making Oakland a safe and welcoming university. Our notion of community is shaped by our connection to one another and our shared humanity. OU's outreach to veterans has earned the highest rating for veteran-friendly campuses from the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency. OU has been recognized as an accessible and accommodating campus for our range of disability support services. And OU has been named the most LGBTQ-friendly campus in Michigan. We have demonstrated time and time again that we are a caring and compassionate university community. In September, our campus banded together to raise more than $19,000 for Dollars for Dorian, and these funds are aiding our peer institution, the University of the Bahamas. So, as a way to formalize our shared values, we'll be drafting a formal values statement. And in the next few months, faculty, staff, and students are going to be asked for their input. So you'll be hearing more details about this in the coming weeks. Another way to show that we care about one another is our focus on health. This past year, the Department of Recreation and Well-Being celebrated 20 years of getting students, staff, faculty, and community members to exercise both our minds and our bodies. A key addition to our health and our campus is the new fitness court sponsored by Priority Health. With the goal of making OU an even more desirable place to work, we initiated a flexible work arrangements initiative to give employees more flexibility and more options for their work week. Now, my challenge to our campus is to strive to become one of the healthiest campuses in the country, and also a university recognized for our sustainability initiatives. So in the coming year, I really want us to make progress in these areas. Another area where we've been successful is in maintaining our financial health. With the outstanding stewardship of our financial team, OU is among the most financially healthy public universities in Michigan. Our Moody's rating is A1 stable. And as of June 2019, our endowment is at $106.5 million, and our rate of return is 9.9%, which outperforms our peers who have an average of 7.8%. In looking to our future financial needs, we're also making significant strides advancing Oakland University. Aspire, Advance, Achieve is the largest campaign in Oakland University history, and our fundraising goal is $150 million. Here, you will see the breakdown of the campaign and what we've raised to date. We're more than a third of the way there, but you can see that there's still a lot more that we can and we need to do. And I'm extremely proud that in fiscal year 2019, the university has raised $15.3 million, which is the highest giving total in 5 years, the 4th highest ever, and our best giving year when you exclude prior year's mega gifts. And last Friday, we kicked off the annual all-university fund drive for faculty, staff, and retirees. The AUFD drive is really a major way to support scholarships, programs, research, and more. And it's our participation that demonstrates that we, all of us, are the best advocates for Oakland University.
In July, I traveled with an OU student group to Israel for what turned out to be a historic archaeological dig. We uncovered the biblical site of Ziklag. The amazing trip, which is part of the Judaic Studies program, opened my eyes to the layers of history and the endless possibilities of learning. My name is Hannah Reichart, and I am OU.
Due to my passion for diversity, equity, and inclusion for all, as an undergraduate, I won a Keeper of the Dream scholarship. Thank you. Currently, going on my 7th year on campus, I'm pursuing my master's degree in training and development, finishing in April. My name is Daryl Blackburn, and I am OU.
I have many fond memories of my years on campus as a student. My Oakland University education gave me the tools to succeed in a 39-year career with the railroad industry. My wife, Sherry, and I are giving back by supporting a permanent Keeper of the Dream scholarship endowment. I'm a proud member of the SBA class of 1969. I'm Gary Sample, and I am OU.
With their success and the power of collaboration in mind, we must now prepare to further position Oakland University for the challenges that lie ahead. We're in the midst of fundamental changes reshaping the higher education landscape, especially in the Midwest. This is occurring at a time when high school graduation trends show a steady decline in the number of graduates attending college, when public funding for higher education isn't likely to increase significantly, if at all, when universities are more dependent on revenue from tuition, when people question the value of higher education, when student debt is increasing, and a time when higher education and degrees are needed more than ever. Our plan to address all of these challenges is called Reimagining OU. And for us to succeed, we must work together and understand we're all in this together.
OU is my home away from home.
It's where I want to be.
A warm and welcoming environment.
A tremendous sense of community.
There are so many different cultures and traditions. I love the people.
My colleagues.
The students. The brilliant professors.
It launched my career.
It gave me opportunities.
The connections. The research.
The passion.
The drive.
Hard work never looked like this. We are the first ones in, the last ones out. Always pushing toward perfection. We are determined, proud. We are the soul of the community, grounded in one common goal. making sure our students succeed, inspired to impact all those we encounter. We are the doers, the builders, the change makers. We create, collaborate, cultivate, and we are the ones who will carry the legacy forward. And now, our landscape is changing. We face a future filled with new possibilities, new challenges. We must adapt, innovate, grow. We must recommit and rethink our path. It's time to imagine the future, a future we alone can define, a future informed by tradition, inspired by values, illuminated by our common belief that higher education has a transformative impact. This future can only unfold when we unite. Together, we will preserve what makes Oakland University a special place, our commitment to excellence in everything we do, where students are welcomed, challenged, and inspired, where faculty are empowered and encouraged, where staff are supported and appreciated. We won't back down. We are in this together. We can see it. Together, we will determine the future of Oakland University. A future where we are the starting point, the turning point, and the most memorable point. It's time to imagine the future and reimagine the possibilities of Oakland University.
Reimagining OU calls for timely innovation and integration of our mission, vision, and values, of our 4 strategic goals, of more efficient and effective administrative processes throughout the university, of our ever-evolving campus, of our elevated reputation in the region and the state. I have named Deans Corcoran and Harper to serve as co-chairs of the Reimagining OU Steering Committee, charged with reviewing our current processes and recommending improved ways of operating our university. The work of the steering committee will be supported by an external consultant. Our goal is to make better use of our resources and become more efficient and more productive in order to position Oakland for continuous improvement and even greater success. We are strong. Today, we recommit to our mission. And with a clear vision, I stand alongside you to proudly report that the state of our university is strong as measured by enrollment, financial health, and the willingness of all of us to imagine our path ahead. We are OU. In the final analysis, the state of our university depends on our shared realization that when we work together, we are stronger. We have greater impact. We make a difference. And we make Oakland University the university of choice for students, for faculty, for staff, and the community. I am OU, you are OU, and together, we are OU. Thank you so much for the opportunity to serve alongside you. And now, before we open it up for a few questions and food to eat, I just want to take a moment and let you know that there were many, many people that were involved in producing today's program. And I want to thank just a couple of them. I'd just like to acknowledge in the back, Frank Provenzano, Mandy Summers, Dave Groves, and John Young's entire team. Where's Sarah? Did I see Sarah standing around here? Sarah, the video, and many. So let's give that, John's entire team, a round of applause. And also Susan and her team for helping here. So if anybody worked on helping us today, could you please stand and let's give all of you a round of applause. If you worked on helping us today, please stand. All of you. Yeah. Steve. Thank you. Everybody that worked on helping us to put on something like this, as you all know, takes an enormous amount of work. So, and choreography. So while, John, are you collecting questions? Yeah. We'll be happy to take them. And the team is setting out lunch, which we'll be having, I think, shortly, too.
Penmanship wasn't a requirement for these.
Probably a doctor.
Whoa. All right. I'm going to go in the order that I can read them well. How can community partners aid the university in its research goals?
Oh, that's great. So research is actually an area that I think we have a lot of room for improvement. And as you saw from the slide, we're sort of in the, we just moved up from this last year from being in the R3 ranking of Carnegie institutions to the R2. So we're at the bottom of, we were at the top of the R3s, we're now at the bottom of the R2s. So we do have an opportunity to do much better in research. So I think the community has an enormous opportunity to help us there because especially local businesses, because the opportunity to collaborate with businesses is huge there. And we can certainly partner with local businesses and companies, schools and industries, and other institutions for collaborative research, because that's certainly a way for us to stretch the investment that is required to make research successful. So it's a huge opportunity for us to do more with less. So, and it is a big priority for us. And if we want to advance and make a greater contribution in research, which is a priority, then it's one way for us to move further faster. So I think it's a great question and a great opportunity for us to do more, and something we must do.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to do two more. There were a couple related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I'm going to use this one as a sample. We're going to answer all of these online, but here's one. How do you plan to increase representation of marginalized people in positions of power at the university?
Increased representation. Well, first of all, I do want to say that compared to our peers, I think it's important for us to note that while you heard that there was a significant amount of emphasis in my talk on diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think we have, one of the reasons that I emphasized it is because it's very important to me. So I do want people to understand how much how important I think this is. I consider it of the highest priority. Compared to our peers, I think we do reasonably well. But compared to the opportunity, I think there's a long way for us to go. So I think that it's incumbent upon all of us, regardless of where we sit in the organization, whether we're students, whether we're faculty, whether we're staff, or in the community as well, for us to constantly be asking ourselves, are we doing enough in this space? So we have to look around and say, do we have appropriate representation? Are we giving people opportunities? Are we always are we always looking for candidates? And are we giving all voices the opportunity to be heard? And I think in many cases, we are not doing that. And so we always have to ask each other and ourselves that question. And I think we're doing better and better, as you can see from the data that I presented. But there are better and more opportunities. We have to do it at every level. Our pipeline is good. I mean, you know, for example, you saw me present that we have 52.7% women. What I didn't present is that at the highest levels, we don't do very well. And so I'm very cognizant of those data and aware of the opportunity to improve. And it's a high priority for me. So, you know, we're intending to make progress at all levels in this space. But all of you have to work on it. You know, you can't expect just me or the cabinet or the deans to focus on these things. This is incumbent upon each and every one of us. One of the reasons why I love working here is because all of you work on all of these things. So this is something that you all have to attend to.
Okay, thank you. All right, this one is about state funding. That slide always gets attention. I'm going to read the back half first and then frame it as a question. We, OU, continue to have fantastic performance metrics and produce graduates who stay within the state. Therefore, why does OU continue to receive the lowest state funding?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a problem for me. I am concerned about it. I know Rochelle is here as well. It is related to the way the original appropriations were decided, and it has nothing to do with our performance, even though there is this measure called performance funding. We don't know yet what's going to happen to future performance funding, you know, down the road. I'll just give you data from last year so you know what happened. So last year, and this was under the prior administration, we got the highest percent of performance funding of any of the 15 state universities. So I'll just compare to the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, so you have some understanding. So the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor got, in terms of total funding, about $300 million. We got about $53 million. Now that was related to base funding, and that was related partially to historical amounts of funding that each university got, and partly related to size. We're a lot smaller. The amount of performance funding that Ann Arbor got was 2.8%. The amount of performance funding that we got in terms of percent was 3.1%. That's because we performed better. But you can, I will be long dead till we catch up, because 2.8% on $300 million versus 3.1% on $53 million, imagine how long it would take us to catch up. Now, in any case, we don't know that that formula is even going to continue down the road, because we have a new administration. We don't know if that's going to continue, so we don't know. But the reason that the original base funding formulas were set was related to a number of different factors. And the reason that we and a couple of the other universities are at the bottom, like, for example, Grand Valley, has to do with when the universities were founded and other factors that are out of our control. And so we are hopeful that down the road we'll be able to impact this more. Fortunately, for example, on our board we have 3 very influential people, including the former lieutenant governor and others who've been very influential. I don't know whether or not we'll be successful. The thing that concerns me the most is that the total amount of money that the state gives, 4.1% of the state's budget versus other states that give 10% to higher education, concerns me more than the relative amount that goes to us versus other universities. In other words, I'm less interested in taking money from another university and having that come to Oakland than I am about how much the state gives to higher education. Because in my mind, the fact that the state hasn't made higher education a priority for me is a bigger concern than taking money from Grand Valley, or taking money from Eastern, or taking money from Central, or even taking money from Ann Arbor. Because to me, the bigger concern is how much money is the state, what is the state's values system? How important is higher education to the people of Michigan? And that, to me, is the important question. And so I think that's what matters.
Thank you. In order to keep us on track, and since everybody's now staring at the food.
They're staring at the food and not at me?
Both. So we got a couple other questions. We're going to post all answers to questions. If you have additional ones, they'll be posted on the President's webpage. Thank you, Dr. Pescovitz. Thank you, everybody, for your time. We'll let executive events show you to the food.
Thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for coming. We had a full house here. You can see that all the seats were taken, and I'm very appreciative that all of you came. Thank you.